Welcome everyone to the Garbage Cast, episode 7.
It's called
Castalgia.
Wait, what did I say?
The Garbage Castalgia.
Welcome to Castalgia, episode 7.
The Phantom Menace.
We've done 7 Castalgias.
This will be the 7th one.
Wow.
Should text them also.
I'm here with
Not even on iTunes yet.
my good buddy Mike Davis,
Hello, everybody.
Sebastian
Somebody put us
Daramat,
on iTunes.
Josh Davis,
Hey.
and Keenan Calhoun.
I don't care anymore.
Don't care anymore.
So today we're going to be talking about
Phil
Smash.
Collins.
Today we're going to get smashed on the cast.
Finally.
I
Yeah.
was doing some pre-gaming before this.
Yeah, I was
Playing
pre-game.
as Captain Falcon, just before the game.
What's your post game plan?
Mewtwo King, I think.
I'm just going to play a little Mewtwo King.
So anyway,
You'll be
yeah, today's about Smash Brothers.
Specifically the new one.
No,
Is that not true?
I mean it's a part of it. Yeah, sure,
It's mostly
it's
about
a part of the series.
the whole series.
Oh, right.
Anyways, Keenan, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I'll just squeeze my mic a little bit. I don't know. Where should I start? How about
The beginning.
The humble
the beginning?
beginnings.
I'll start with when I first saw the commercial for Super Smash Brothers. Classic commercial. I don't know
The
if
64 one.
Yeah.
Good commercial.
You guys
Very good
remember?
commercial.
It was a bunch of people in Nintendo character costumes running around outside, and then they all start fighting. And I, watching TV as a little kid, because I feel like video game ads were not as much of a thing back then. And like,
Come on, they're not much of a thing now.
You kidding me? I see Destiny and Diablo commercials like every single
Diablo
morning.
commercials?
yeah, there's commercials on TV.
Age of
I guess I just don't
Empires
watch
we don't have
commercials.
TV, so
Yeah, I guess that's the big
I
difference.
saw a
here.
Kingdom Hearts commercial the other weekend.
There's like an Assassin's Creed ad every commercial.
I mean, game ads back in those times, the before times,
BC.
BC. Back in BC,
Yes, before Smash.
before Smash, back in the early days of video game commercials, they were much more abstract, and by that I mean they
Yeah,
were
it
much less
wasn't-
about anything really. Like it was
And
just
there's not gameplay footage as much back then.
I mean, now it's just gameplay footage and
Yeah.
then some modern pop song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They're gonna
like
get
the
you-
like the
Try-
Bloodborne. Look, the Bloodborne one. It's just like
Man, the Bloodborne was bad.
random
What is it?
little game.
It's like
Shots
It's
and
like Ed Hardy Inc. shots.
Yeah, it's like
with a dumb song
like-
over it.
nice.
born by the blood, death by the blood, and then it's like that song that's like, I'm gonna cut you down. It's like one of those fake country songs, and then
Yeah.
it's like PlayStation.
That sounds horrible.
yeah,
That's
it's
really
a
bad.
classic. But I mean,
Do you remember the
So-
Paper Mario commercial?
No,
that was
what
running
was
around this
that?
time.
No, what was that?
It was Paper Mario, but like it was. I can't remember if it was live action.
live
I want to
action
say it was.
paper.
Yeah, I want to say it was live action, and you had. I don't know. All I can remember is, like him turning into a paper airplane and flying over water in the
yeah.
commercial. I don't know. It was similar era of N64.
You're really painting a
commercials.
picture with
I
that
know,
one.
Well,
Look it up.
I remember seeing that commercial, seeing all of these different characters from different franchises of Nintendo,
Yeah.
like all in one commercial. Then them announcing that this was a game called Super Smash Brothers
Mm-hmm.
that involved characters from all of their different properties. And as a child, I was just completely blown away that something like that could even exist.
Yeah, me too.
I was so incredibly excited
It's
that
like Marvel
all of,
vs. Capcom.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a big deal.
But there wasn't. I think that was before Marvel vs. Cap.
Yeah.
At least before I was aware of it.
Yeah, I think so.
What's the first Smash called?
It's
Super
just
Smash
Super
Bros.
Smash Brothers.
Nice
Yeah.
one.
Good choice.
That's
And
pretty cool.
yeah, I mean that was a crazy idea.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's actually not just the concept of like having it be like a mashup for a video game, but also you have the system itself in terms of like what kind of fighting game it is. was completely revolutionary.
Yeah.
You mean like the actual fighting system?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's still very few 3D fighters like that. Like,
Yeah.
not even. I guess it's not. It's 3D. I mean, it's just.
It's
I mean,
2D.
It's
The
2D. I
graphics
guess
line.
it's like. It's not. I don't know. It's kind of. It's hard.
It's 3-dimensional models on a 2D plane.
Yeah.
It's just like
I mean, that's not the right way to describe it. You know what I mean? Like the kind of like non-health bar system
yeah.
Yeah.
stage-based brawler rather than a just a classic Street Fighter style
Yeah.
game. Like
I mean, it's still really the only good like above 2 players at a time fighting game.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's definitely true.
They
Was the first
made
one 4-player?
yeah,
Yes.
they
Wow,
made the
that's so cool.
system like for 4-player fighting games.
Mm-hmm.
hmm I mean, that's. I feel like that's kind of other than at the top tier competitive level. That's like how Smash is meant to be played. Is like 4, and now more players. Like
Yeah. Which works surprisingly well.
yeah, I
It
mean,
is really fun.
Smash is just a series that sort of, for me, it was one of the first game I ever played, Melee specifically, that ever had like a high level scene, like a high level play scene. I never really got
Yeah.
into it other than watching random things on Twitch like every once in a while now.
Yeah.
But it's sort of it was one of the few it was like one of the games that I played when I was a kid, and I kind of knew that there were really good players.
I mean, it was just so fast.
Yeah, it just kind of it was like a game that I loved. Sort of introduced me to the idea of being like really really good at a game,
Yeah.
which I never got to, but I definitely like have had periods of time when I'll play Smash. Like at one point when I was living in an apartment, 2 of my friends, the guys that I play Dota with now, would just come to my house like every day when we play like 6 hours of Smash Bros.
Yeah.
And so
Totally.
like, and you know,
How come David's still so much better than you?
he isn't?
No, because I am, but we had a very similar experience, like, or I did, like, where
I've seen
was it
Keenan
you and
beat
two-
David.
what
I've
beating
seen
David.
Keenan beat David.
I'm giving him a hard time.
But I
Keenan
have
wins
seen David
sometimes.
get 20 KOs.
Yeah, that was a big
pretty
deal.
amazing.
Did
That's a big
you?
one.
So it was you and
Piece of shit.
it was you and 2 other people, right?
Yeah, me and Aubrey and Max.
Yeah,
Shout
so-
out to Walnut Boys.
So yeah, I had the exact same experience of me and 2 other
Yeah.
people in middle school, like constantly playing Smash, like
We'd sort of have a
All the
rotating
time.
cast of another person.
yeah,
Just
us
whoever
two,
was
yeah.
kind of there at the time.
Yeah.
And they would pretty much just always lose.
Yeah, yep. That's
But-
that's the same thing it would be here. Like,
Yeah.
and it was funny because even back then we knew just instinctively what the good characters were. Like I had a friend who played Fox. I switched between Sheik and Marth, and then my other friend like strictly played Marth.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting just because like even at such a young age, you have an intuition for like what characters play well in that game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel
I
like
didn't.
I don't know.
Did
like
you play?
I probably used Jigglypuff a lot, and
Jigglypuff was good though.
Donkey Kong was my main.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a Fox main in Melee.
My main technique was just grabbing the person and jumping off the edge.
Yeah, it works better in like 64 than any
Yeah.
of the other ones.
I did it every
It's-
single time I would
it's-
play.
It's way too easy to break out of it in the other ones unless they're like
Yeah.
super super high damage already.
Yeah, unless they're just like really high and they can barely play. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it's no problem.
Yeah.
That is not even an issue. But
So
yeah,
Josh's strat is to get the person high first.
yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, I played a lot of Smash. Like, I still do. Like, there's something about just that idea. I think it's if Smash was another series, as in if it wasn't a Nintendo thing, if it was all original characters in
Yeah.
the same setting,
Mhm.
it just wouldn't be appealing
Totally.
Yeah.
to the level it is. Like, I mean, if it was a really good game, it would still stand out on those merits. But
It wouldn't have the staying power that it has.
Yeah.
I
I
think
mean,
a big part of that is
it would
just
have
how
a smaller
colorful
community.
the game is too. I
That's
like
true.
like just
Yeah.
in terms of like I don't know if this game was recreated today with like the same mechanics but an original cast, and you could see like something grittier or something where like
Yeah.
Smash has always really been like really lighthearted in terms
Yeah.
of its presentation.
There's no blood. Nobody dies.
Yeah.
Now that it's
Yeah.
in HD, it looks so good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a
Like,
lot of comedy in the game.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I remember I was watching somebody else play the Pilot Wings map in the new one,
mhm.
and I hadn't watched that round like without playing it, where I could actually pay attention to what it looked like, and it looks so amazing.
Yeah.
It looks so
I mean, just
cool.
all the backgrounds and the character models and the
Yeah.
particle effects, like specifically the Toon Link particle effects, I think look the best. Just because
With
they're
the
in that,
particle effect.
just like when somebody attacks and like little
Oh right.
lightning or whatever comes out, like Toon Links are so like perfect to his style, and I don't know. I mean, just all the characters like spell effects and all their magic attacks and their all that. They just everything just looks nice. You know what I mean? Like the game is
Definitely.
just polished to a level that like most games aren't.
Yeah.
Especially of this new generation, where they're kind of figuring out the hardware, and so like a lot of games still look bad. Like I don't know. Most games I've seen from the new consoles still look kind of weird.
Yeah.
But like Nintendo just immediately hit the ground running with like the Wii U's graphics, and like all the games
I mean, it just
look good.
It just still like goes to show you like art style is more important than anything. And again,
Yeah.
like
And I
in
mean,
terms of its graphics.
I mean, but not even that. Nintendo just has a level of polish that regardless
Yeah,
of the art
yeah.
style, like the game is not buggy. There's like 0 bugs in
Yeah,
the game
technically it
basically.
runs flawlessly.
It's just like
Except for when you're on Wi-Fi and you're trying to play online.
yeah, that's
but
the netcode is amazing.
Honestly,
And
I would,
they need to nerf Diddy Kong.
yeah, Nitty
The Diddy-
sucks.
the Diddy trick is
coming out next week, and I'm
OP.
really curious if Diddy's gonna be nerfed.
He
Yeah.
deserves the nerf.
Do you think they'll take away that trick?
I think they'll give him a Nerf gun instead of a peanut gun.
They might nerf him. That would be too self-aware for Smash.
If they gave him a Nerf gun?
Yeah.
It would also be licensed that they'd have
Yeah.
to pay royalties.
Wow, that would be weird.
Yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't be that weird. They stuck a BMW in Mario Kart,
Yeah,
so
BMW.
or no
Nerf.
Mercedes-Benz. Sorry.
Those are the same thing to me. BMW and Mercedes. Sorry, owners of either car out there.
By the way, did you guys see the announcement of the new DLC characters? One
Smash?
of them is a Mercedes-Benz car.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The other one is a BMW.
Yeah.
They're both in it now.
And the cool thing is you can just smash head-on collisions, and the drivers are Mario and Luigi, and they just fly out of the windshield.
Whoa.
And it's like a projectile on top of your
Yeah.
just smash attack.
My
That's
favorite
cool.
of the new DLC characters is the Mario amiibo.
Oh, yeah, he's cool.
He has no moves. He just stands there
Did
because
you-
he's a plastic figure.
Did you see the Hank Hill announcement video?
I thought it was. It's the new Ice Climbers. It's
Oh,
Hank
it's
and
Peggy.
It's Hank and
Yeah,
Peggy
you're right.
as sort of an Ice Climbers duo because they wanted to bring that style of character back, but nobody likes Ice Climbers as characters.
So they're just
Whoa,
giving him
whoa,
the same.
whoa.
They're giving him the same.
come on.
moveset.
Do you like the Ice Climbers better or Hank and Peggy Hill? Two of the classic characters of American television.
I'll give you that.
I heard Solid
Because Ice
Snake's
Climbers is
daughter
that
is
game.
going to be in it too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Who's that?
I heard.
Who?
I heard.
Solid
Rose.
Snake's daughter.
Rose.
Rose, yeah.
I heard there was
Wow,
going to be a
spoiler! I didn't even know.
The-
How did you know? Did you talk to Kojima?
Solid
No.
Snake's daughter.
Rose.
Rose?
Jack's wife.
Jack's wife. Yeah. Wow. The Metal Gear universe is really.
I heard
Getting
there was going
small.
to be a
Yeah.
Solid State Drive as a character.
He's lightning fast.
He's just like really fast. But you don't want to drop it.
No, it's okay
Oh
to
no,
drop
you can
Solid
drop
State.
those. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He drops hard drives.
But there is a spinning disc drive, and
yeah,
that one
that guy, you
you're
know.
not supposed to
Yeah,
drop
he
him.
does. If he falls
and
from,
if you, and if
too
you
high,
hit, if
he
you hit
breaks.
that character while you're playing, all
goes
of your all of your save data gets erased.
and that was the hard drive humor section of the
Yeah.
cast.
I like the idea of you hitting him. It goes beep. beep, and then the game goes corrupt. Sorry, the game cannot be played.
Man, remember how much PlayStation 2 save data would get corrupted? That happened like all the time to us for some
Do
reason.
you remember how much PlayStation 2s would stop working?
Yeah, we got about 4 of them.
So
I only went through one PS2.
I went
in my
through
life.
3 or 4.
Still rolling, still
I-
rocking.
gave my original one away, and now I have a slim. But my original fat PS2 still works.
Wow.
It's just at Keith's house.
Wow.
You got to get it back from old
Chief Keith.
I don't know. I just gave it to him.
Give it back. Get it back from Chief Keef. Oh,
Smash.
Smash.
Yeah, Smash. Anyways,
Good game.
yeah, very good game.
And that's the case.
Yeah.
What has changed over the years?
My ability to sit and
Uh,
play the game for 6 hours has changed.
True.
Really?
Yeah.
He
I don't know.
rage.
I can actually still
now he
probably-
rage quits every time David beats him.
Yeah, I get too mad too fast. now.
I actually probably have the most amount of tolerance for playing long sessions of Smash still. Like,
I think for me, for some reason, I can still play not the new Smash. I can still play Melee for a long time, or Project M even. The new one, I definitely can't stand as long of play sessions. I'm not sure exactly what that is. I don't know. There's something, I think, I just like how Melee feels a little better still, even after
Yeah.
spending this much time with the new one. I mean, Melee, I think definitely Melee is my favorite Smash Bros. Obviously, it's just, for me, it's just, far better than the other ones. And I think mostly that is probably because I played it the most. But I think it just feels the best, too. It's just so fast-paced.
yeah.
That's the GameCube one?
Yeah, it's GameCube.
Did you ever? How much did this game spark your imagination? You know what I mean? Like the series.
Not at all.
What?
Spark
I
your
mean, I just
imagination?
fought my friends. I don't know.
I mean, because okay, so let me give some context for this.
Not at all.
Like, let's go back to
The glove.
Take me back to
Go
the
back
glove.
to the glove.
The original glove.
late
Back to
elementary
the
school,
glove with the elastic
early
strap.
middle school.
Mm-hmm.
You have, how old am I? 11-year-old,
How old am
10
I?
or 11-year-old Dave.
You're getting straight A's. The
And-
girls at school, they're loving you.
No.
Nah.
You have. you have.
What do you
me.
have?
Sorry. You-
Yeah.
So,
I'm just imagining what
Josh,
Dave
this is-
might
I'm
have.
just gonna guess where
cool.
Dave is going
all
with
right,
this.
here we go.
That
You have a
introduction
lot of
sparked my
Here we go. How
imagination.
much did it spark your imagination? Did you make machinimas?
No. This is
Would
not
you
where we're
would you
going.
just think about what it meant for these universes to be
So,
together?
I wrote
So, here's where I'm
a
going.
sexy
Any
fanfic
fanfic.
of
Oh my gosh. This
of
is,
Fox
Oh, yeah.
and Captain.
Zero Suit Samus.
No, it was actually wrote a sexy fanfic of Falco and Captain Falcon because I thought they made the most sense as a couple.
That's cute.
especially when you pronounce them that way.
Yeah, Falcon, Captain Falcon.
Captain
Okay,
Falcon.
Let,
Falco and Captain Falcone.
so
Captain Falcon.
Yeah. Hey,
all right.
you
We
mess
got
with
a young
Captain
Dave.
Falcone.
Captain.
That's element one. Young
Captain
Dave.
Falcon.
You're
Falcone.
sparking my imagination right now. I'm closing my eyes and imagining.
I think
Element
about young
2.
Dave every day.
Element 2. No money Dave. Okay. Same
I-
Dave.
You said you got an allowance on the last podcast.
Element
No, I
2.
didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Helium
The last
Dave.
podcast was allowance cast about our nostalgia for our allowance.
Gosh.
I used to try to convince my parents to give me a WoW subscription with my allowance. Instead of allowance, they wouldn't do it.
Oh, that's what it
I
was.
think I've tried the same thing.
They gave me RuneScape, though.
That's
and that was
free.
better. No, it was $5 a month. I was a
Really?
member.
Really?
I was
What?
playing for
I was
free.
a member.
You were getting ripped off. You could play that game for free.
Yeah.
Guys, were none of you ever members of RuneScape?
Not
No, I
to
never
say.
played
It was
RuneScape.
so much better being a member. But anyway, different cast. For
Okay.
another time.
Different time.
So young Dave.
RuneScape cast
Poor
coming
Dave.
soon. Don't twist them.
It's the extra string. And then also a Dave that secretly loves anime.
Anime Dave.
Secretly loves, or wants
Otaku Dave.
Wants all.
Why
yes,
is this so secret?
Okay.
wants all of these. No one gets
This
what
is
you're doing.
Okay, so number one.
What is happening?
Number one. I'm just
know
gonna
three things.
run it
David's
over
young,
again. Young
Anime
Dave.
Dave.
Likes anime.
No money Dave.
Anime.
We gotta stop this.
This is
cast.
Anime Dave.
This cast is off the rails.
Anime
for
Dave.
otaku.
Okay, David, just finish the
All
story.
right, Dave, take us back.
We're 3 minutes in.
2.
We're 5 minutes in. Just keep going.
Take us in, Anime Dave.
All right, so, but
Paint the picture.
so yeah, you have
she
a
must
Dave
Mark our imagination.
that
I'm imagining so much.
that
right
is
now.
not very in charge of the games he plays.
What
but-
was your hair like?
What's my hair like?
Yeah.
Fuck up.
In middle school, it was medium to long, just straight grown out mop.
Whoa.
I had a
Cool
Jufro
kid.
when I was
All right,
9.
continue.
Anyways,
I didn't. I'm
so
lying.
not really in control of like what games I have, but I have Smash. And so what I can do is Marth and Roy are in that game, and they're very anime inspired.
They're very cute.
So
Anime Dave.
yeah. So essentially, I would just fantasize that they were other characters and just have those two characters play all the time against each other. That is the whole story.
Who were they?
I'm so surprised that is the way it sparked
But-
your imagination.
Yeah,
I know that you were sort of wondering
so
if
they-
everybody would have done that. I think.
they are a sort of evolution of like when you're playing Smash single player, they are almost a sort of evolution of like action figures or something.
Yeah.
That is the way you can think
I
of
mean,
them,
the,
or
in
like
the
Legos.
first game, they are action figures.
And
Yeah.
now, again, they are action figures. You can buy your amiibos.
They don't. They're not action figures
Red
though,
Like
because they don't
Smash
move.
Role play.
They're like
Very
little
weird.
statues.
What?
I wish they were
Smash
action
role
figures.
play.
I could
Yeah.
karate chop.
that'd
I could
be
have
cool.
them
All this
karate
has
chop
like this
each other
weird
in the
sexual
neck.
undercurrent. I swear it's not.
Yeah, I mean, just
I
the
didn't-
way that you described
I
it. I
didn't
think
mean that.
much more than the story. I would have them
A young
pretend
Dave.
to be.
more analogous to action figures. That's a way better way to put this.
Yeah, you could have saved us like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You could have said, "Did
Well,
it ever spark your
if I wasn't
imagination?" I
interrupted.
would pretend they were
This is not
anime
my fault.
characters.
You're supposed to be able to talk through the interruption,
It's not possible.
young Padawan.
There's 5 people in this cast.
4.
Too many. What? 5.
I think that
Anyways.
an interesting thing about the way that the competitive scene developed happened because of like the age of the people that like played Smash. It was a game that they played competitively among their friends, like
Right.
growing up, and then like now. I would say that Smash. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seems to me like it's one of the main games that like kind of put competitive gaming on the map.
I think so. Competitive
I mean,
console.
maybe for our generation and for the console
For
generation.
competitive console gaming.
Yeah, that's what I
definitely.
mean.
Like,
It's like, what is there more? Like, I guess there's like Call of Duty and stuff.
But isn't it quite
Well,
a bit
I mean, I
smaller
would think of, like,
though
Quake
than
or
most
StarCraft
other fighting
or-
games? Isn't like this like
Is it smaller
Yeah.
than like Street Fighter and stuff?
yeah, Smash. Like
Is
the
it-
community for
I mean,
Smash
it's
is
like-
smaller now. Yeah.
I mean, they have a hard time even getting into like Evo and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like
I
the
guess that
competitive
it's
Smash.
just for
Well,
me.
it also has a reputation of being like a casual game.
Yeah.
And that was what I was gonna say. Is like, for a person like me who is a more casual gamer, like that is a much more mainstream game to
Well,
have be
yeah.
in the competitive scene.
See, I guess the difference is, it is more mainstream and more popular, generally, as like just a game that sells.
Yeah.
But amongst like its competitive crowd is smaller. If that makes sense.
It's been growing a lot though. It's
but
really
it's definitely growing a lot.
it's cool to see.
And it's just more interesting to me, and I feel like other casual people, because everybody's played Smash.
Yeah.
Definitely. That game has, as far as the competitive scene goes, it's really interesting. Like, it's a very grassroots scene just because there's no real money in it compared to a lot of other games, and it's just like, and especially because the game that's being played competitively is pretty much still Melee. Like the newest one is played and Project M are both played as well, but Melee is still like the flagship competitive Smash game. And it's just interesting. It's nice to see a game community that is so dedicated to their game stay alive for as many years.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Melee came out in like 2001, right? Or 2003 or something.
I think
That
it was
seems
2001.
right.
Was it 2001?
Something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, the game is old, and
No, wait, no, it was 2003 because 2001 is Majora's Mask.
sure, okay, but yeah, still, the game is
Or 2000, whatever.
the game is 12 years old
Yeah.
ish, and it's just nice to see a community exist for that long. Because most like video game communities are much more fleeting. Like especially like the ones based around Blizzard games. Like it's sort of every time Blizzard releases a new game, sort of the community just jumps ship to the new game, and there's nothing like wrong with that. Obviously, just because it still is based around the community of that company or that style of game. Like that's kind of how like gaming communities move around, is just based on like this game is new, really similar to our old game. The big streamers that played this game now play this game, so communities kind of move around a lot.
Yeah.
But the Melee scene has really just stayed at its core the same people the whole time. It's grown obviously, but it's cool to see a game that has as much staying power as Melee, and I think a lot of that is just based on the amount of like love that was put into Melee. I mean, because to me it feels like the most well developed Smash as far as the amount of like love that has went into it, because the two Smash games that followed it both feel really well like fleshed out, but there's something at their core that they don't feel quite as fun as like Melee. And I think a lot of that is definitely like just built-in nostalgia.
Definitely.
But like the event matches in Melee just feel like they're the most fun. They're, the game is a very simple and refined idea.
I think what Melee has going for it is it's just like tight. Like,
Yeah, it's very simple, like very well figured out, like it's a very slim game, because the new Smash Bros is a very sort of an obtuse,
Magnificent.
it's
large.
very big.
you
It's
can-
got a lot of grandeur.
You can play the new Smash trying to get all the collectibles for like an eternity. Where
Yeah.
like there is like a possible end in sight in Melee. Like you just
Yeah.
have the trophies, and then that's it. Like you
Yeah.
have the coins and the trophies, and then that's it. You don't really have like all these challenges or like the event system in Melee is like a lot more simple.
Yeah, I mean it's just a straight
Yeah,
numbered
it's just like
list.
a much tighter experience.
Yeah, and I
would
mean
definitely, we've talked a little about this, but like the single player in the new Smash is a really huge letdown.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really- it's not good.
Also, I think that something that is under talked about is the single player in Brawl. There was that weird single player mode that I actually thought
the
was pretty
subspace
fun.
emissary.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was something that I actually really wanted them to bring back for the new one.
me too.
I mean, it was just
I wish it was refined.
Yeah,
the
for
subspace
sure.
emissary was just a straight story mode.
Yeah, and there was
Like-
like beat 'em up levels. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd go like a race to the finish level where you start at one point, you have to get
Was
to
it
the
all
other
2D
end of the
still?
level.
I mean,
Yeah.
the cool thing
Yeah.
was like you would get all these cameos from like all these different games. So like there was a Rayquaza boss fight,
I don't know this.
Pokemon.
legendary Pokemon. There's like, you fight. Do you fight Pokey
I
Probably.
don't know what that is.
from
Earthbound.
Oh,
So that was the cool stuff about it for me. There was just maybe a little bit too much like, I don't know. It was maybe a little bit too long. Either that or like the beat 'em up sections were maybe a little bit too long. I just
Yeah.
wanted to see like all the cameos and just do like the fun boss fight part
Yeah.
and not deal with like the boring enemies.
it's just fun for them to do something different with the single player mode.
Yeah,
because, like,
I'll yeah. I agree with that.
obviously the thing you want to do with just the normal fighting is multiplayer. Like,
Yeah.
it's you obviously are going to have an exhibition mode where you can fight, but like, if I want to play regular fighting matches, I'm going to do that with my friends as opposed to just playing against AI. It's not that fun.
Like in Melee, I ran through the classic and adventure mode with every character multiple times.
Yeah. Same.
In the new Smash, I just couldn't do it. I got through like the top row of characters in the story mode, and I was like, I'm way done. I am never coming back to this.
It's also just like a matter of there's just like way more characters.
Yeah.
And so,
but I mean, I ran through them all in Melee multiple times. So
yeah, I guess that's true.
I've probably ran it. I've ran the classic mode in Melee with just Link as many times as there are characters in the new Smash. But
yeah, I guess I also just wish there was more like 1 versus 1 in the single player because like a lot of like, especially when it's like an item match with like 6 people, it just sometimes it just like takes too long.
Yeah.
Or like if it's 1v1, at least it's gonna be over pretty quick.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, just the whole idea of the new Smash is I want multiplayer to be kind of hectic, crazy, and fun, and that's why like an 8-player Smash like works great for that. But in single player, I kind of just want 1v1 situations or 2v2
or
like
weird battles.
Or
Yes.
Metal
you fight
Mario
a giant guy or you fight 100 Yoshis or whatever.
Yeah, and that's fun too. I don't want I don't want a 6-man free for all on one of my least favorite stages in the entire series. Like,
and it was just so incredibly disappointing that all characters were able to be unlocked through multiplayer.
Yeah,
I know that that's a weird complaint, but
I mean, you
it
could do
was
that in Melee.
it was so much fun. I didn't know you could do that in Melee.
yeah, you can.
You
If you
can.
just-
It's just the requirement's a little bit higher than in this one.
It's very
mean,
high.
It's really.
It must be so high.
It's hundreds of
To
matches.
Yeah,
unlock
like-
Mewtwo, you have to play 20 hours total of multiplayer.
Okay.
Wow.
Which what
didn't
I would
know that.
usually, what me and my friends would do pretty much every time we had to start a new file, would be unlock all the characters through playing through the story mode, which I thought was pretty quick. Then leave the GameCube on overnight in a 1v1, 1 life each match. Come back 20 hours in, one guy dies, the other guy just fights Mewtwo, and then you still have Game & Watch to get, but like the whole unlocking characters, I really enjoyed unlocking characters.
Yeah,
in Melee.
It was just so much fun to like wonder what was going to happen, and like
Yeah.
I unlocked all the characters in the new Smash in like a few hours, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was
and
just
it was
through playing multiplayer matches, which literally gave me no reason to play the single player in the new one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and just like, I felt like unlocking the characters in both like the first and second games like was just way harder than in the new one.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, getting Ness is like an ordeal in the first one.
Yeah.
Where like, in this one, no character is hard to get really.
Yeah.
No. I find this.
In fact, I would probably just rather have had them just have every character unlocked from the beginning. Like,
Yeah.
it was
I
just
wouldn't
so-
have rather had that, but
I would rather have had that than the system that they had in the game. Just because
I feel shorted every single game I play that has character choice that doesn't unlock characters.
So I liked it when it came to the new Street Fighter because I was just like, I just want to play against Sebastian with these new characters and just not have to deal with unlocking. But like with Smash, it's different for me.
Yeah, It's like Mario Party has those 2 really stupid characters you unlock,
Yeah.
but I'm still so happy that there's any characters you unlock.
It's one of those dry buns.
No,
We
like,
wish.
there's just
Oh, the
a
new one, you mean.
Toadette and Spike.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, it's just funny talking about this, like talking about Smash, just because all of our discussion has been based on 64 Melee, little Project M. Mostly, I have like a lot of experience
you
with
definitely
Project
do.
M, but a little bit of Project M and then Smash 4 quite a bit. No one here, and a little Brawl because of the single player. Brawl was such a non-fun game to play.
I actually played a lot of Brawl.
Really?
So
Yeah, I did too. I just kind of know that nobody cares about it,
yeah,
so I
and
don't talk about it.
it was just a slow. It was a slow coming to terms with that game for me.
Yeah.
Because that's a game I went to the midnight release for.
Yeah.
And like I think I unlocked the characters like all the characters the first night. And I like went with a friend and like we just did everything in one night and like it was also a game where I tried my hardest to get the online to work correctly. But it was just a complete laggy mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a game I really tried on my end. Like but it just never
Just doesn't
It just
feel
didn't-
good to play.
yeah, it just didn't pan out like
As a casual player, I have fun with all of those games as long like you just have fun playing with your friends.
yeah,
That's
but
true.
the one character I did like playing when I would play with friends with Brawl, because I actually played quite a bit of Brawl freshman year of college, because that was the most readily available Smash at that time, and because like none of the characters really felt as good as Melee or anything, I ended up picking Olimar and maining Olimar in Brawl,
Yeah.
because he just plays so different that like
Yeah,
it
that
was still
makes
fun
sense.
for me.
The only character I ever latched onto in Brawl was Toon Link. And that was just because he's really, really fast.
Yeah,
And so it sort of counteracts how slow that game is.
yeah,
Because Toon Link feels the most melee, almost, because he's just quick.
yeah.
And so, like, I liked him. Although, Project M, I like most characters. Project M is if there's going to be a competitive Smash game, it should be that one, because it really is the most competitively balanced. Like, it's the kind of Smash game that's actually built by a community that wants a competitive scene, so it releases
But I
nerfs and buffs to characters, which
But I
I think
also-
is healthy,
But I also think it's like that game's downfall. Like I've read stuff with Mewtwo King saying like the meta in Melee has like continued to develop like forever,
yeah.
and the problem with like having such a readily available like nerf and buff system with Project M is people aren't willing to wait out the meta in terms of like who they think is like OP and not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and who is competitively viable and not. So I think, and like, so anyway, this like Mewtwo King post was just like, he was like, a lot of these characters are new, but like no one knows their potential, and they're just getting changed without anyone actually playing them, like playing them in any capacity like they did with Melee.
Yeah.
And I mean, a really good example of like the meta, how slow the meta can change and like how like long it can take is like with characters like Jigglypuff or with characters like
Yeah.
Ice Climbers, or now like is playing Yoshi and he's like a top tier player.
Yeah.
And Yoshi was like D tier for a really long time, and now everyone's like, dude, Yoshi's like the new like A tier character.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I just with Project M, the thing that's nice about having Nintendo develop this game is they're so far removed from the competitive scene that people just have to deal with it instead of like having the chaos of like
Updating constantly.
yeah,
And, like,
and
releasing.
having just
Yeah.
things change a little bit too
Yeah.
much.
I mean, I kind of agree with that, but in general, I think releasing updates to characters that are either underplayed or overplayed, it just forces meta changes constantly, and it keeps the game far fresher. Because Melee,
that is true.
you can say
is
that
true.
Melee has developed very organically and slowly in the competitive scene. That's true, but it also is literally like 99% of Melee matches you watch. It's like Fox, Falco, Sheik, Marth. That's it. Like, pick one of those four to play, because nobody else is worth playing. And so just the idea of like sort of forcing, like if you buff a character in a competitive game like that, you buff them and people go, I wonder if he's good yet. And then they try them, which I think is it's very interesting that game hasn't developed more of a scene than Melee, just because it's like it's what people want from a Smash Bros. Game, like a
Right.
Smash Bros. Game that is a Smash Bros. Game. You know, it's a real Nintendo developed game with real Nintendo characters that just is being able to be fine tuned by people close to the
Yeah.
community.
It's also just a little bit hard. Like, you can't just go out and buy a copy of Project M. There is like a little bit of a thing
That's
to
true,
it.
and that I think that is definitely its greatest downfall is just the fact that it's a mod.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Yeah.
Let's talk about us playing Smash 4 because I feel like this has been a really
Can I talk about
Fun
my
experience.
experience with Melee really quick?
yeah
Yeah.
definitely.
I feel like I had the most like Melee. Seriously, I'm not exaggerating. Was probably like my most hated game
Oh my god.
growing up,
That's
purely because I never owned the game,
sure. Yeah.
and my only experience was like there was this family that my parents would often my family would go and have dinner with them a lot, and
Sure.
I would be forced to play Melee with their kids, and like no one ever explained how to play the game to me,
Yeah.
and I just didn't understand the mechanics, and I thought it felt pretty bad. I still
Were you even familiar with the controller?
no,
Because that's a
not
hard
really.
controller.
I mean,
to
actually, that's not
figure
true.
out.
I played GameCube every
GameCube
now
is the
and
best
then.
controller of all time.
But it is
like,
also like the most
it's pretty
different
good.
than all other controllers.
Yeah, and like,
I mean, it's just generally.
and I
is
feel like
weird.
the fighting game, and honestly, I think the fighting game growing up that I had the most experience with was like whatever Dead or Alive was on original Xbox,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, I guess so. So I was also like assuming that the game worked similarly. Like I had no idea how to do any attacks.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought it was all like it was like button combos.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know. I just like I grew to hate that game so much because they loved it, and they also loved the fact that they would like I was really bad at it.
Yeah.
And these kids were like a lot younger than me also, and they'd be like, "Sebastian's coming over. Let's play Melee." And then I would be forced to play Melee for hours, and
Yeah.
I hated it. And also, I still don't like. I mean, for some reason, in Smash 4, I seem to be more okay with how the game feels, but Melee and Brawl, I really didn't
Yeah.
like.
Well, Brawl feels bad.
I don't.
Objectively bad.
I liked it when I was young.
Weirdly, I felt like I liked Brawl a bit better. There was something about Melee, but it sounds weird though because like I remember Melee feeling slow, which is obviously not the case.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the
But-
fastest one.
I just don't. There's something about the way characters run, and I still think it's true for the new one also. That feels kind of weird to me. Like, I almost get like a Mega Man type thing where like he's doing like 30 steps but goes like 1 foot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He
I
does.
just don't like that very much.
I get that. It's true.
I feel like I think it's the opposite for Mega Man. It's like
And then I don't know. There's something that there seems to be a disconnect with their legs,
yeah,
and it might be the opposite. Yeah. Also, just the game feels a little bit floaty.
it's interesting that like you're saying all this because I think what made me immediately gravitate towards the Smash series is it's one of the only series and definitely the only fighting series that like capitalizes on your previous like gaming literacy. So like I was coming off of like a bunch of Super Nintendo platformers and just like platformers in general, and Smash has platforming mechanics like
Yeah, but I still don't think they feel good though. They
Yeah,
feel
I
feel really floaty.
I mean yeah that's just like subjective,
yeah,
but like
but I was really into platformers at that time also.
yeah I mean it made sense to me and it felt good to me, but
Yeah.
like I don't know, there's just something interesting about that game like that I don't know that it does have like sort of a legacy in terms of its mechanics.
I mean,
like,
I was
how it's
also just like
developed.
really bad at it. I think that was probably the main thing.
Uh-huh.
Because I didn't really start playing games or like the first console that I think I really like, I would say the first console I ever beat a game on was probably like a 360.
Yeah.
I just didn't really play when I was younger. And it was always like my experience with games was always just playing at people's houses and them being a lot better than me.
Right.
And then also them just not wanting to explain the game.
yeah.
I remember
I mean, that's
just
a
being
horrible
like,
position
I remember
to
just
be
being like,
in.
please explain how Melee works. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't
dude, just
understand
play
what I didn't understand what the percentage was. But like the thing is, like, since I was so used to other fighting games at that point.
No, I understand.
I was like,
I was
I
being
would,
them.
I would
like,
not
They just want you to go like,
expect
just
to-
play the game.
Yeah,
dude.
they were like,
just
just
try
do it.
it.
And they were like, I was like, what's attack? They're like, it's A
Yeah.
or something. But I didn't know that any directions affected attacks.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
that's funny that you mentioned that because I remember you having the same problem like when we first started playing Smash here, and I think I gave you a similar explanation of I'm like, dude, this can't be easier. It's A for attack and B for special
But
attack.
that to me just doesn't. It
But
doesn't
yeah, it's just like when you know something, sometimes you don't realize, like, how much someone doesn't know something. Like,
yeah, and that's why I was definitely not into Smash when we first got here. I'm definitely warming up to it. I like it now, actually.
yeah,
This so like Smash 4 is the first positive experience I've had of the series. Another thing about the mechanics in Smash that I didn't like when you first mentioned the way the attacks worked was I don't like when a movement control does something other than movement. Like that's the one
I
thing.
kind of don't like it either.
That's one thing I don't like in Street Fighter. I don't like the fact that back is blocked.
Yeah.
dude, that's my favorite.
There should
thing.
be
I've
like
gotten
a
more
block
used to it
button.
now,
It's
but
such an intuitive.
It's
system.
not. I don't want to step backwards when I'm blocking. Like I think that feels bad, and also I feel like direction. Like I wish Smash had a different like fighting mechanic. I just don't like the like. I want my movement to just be movement. I don't want it to affect.
Wait, are you talking about
When
like?
are you saying because it changes the move?
Yeah,
I mean,
I just don't
I
want
mean, you
that.
can use
to-
the
that's-
C-stick.
but that's the thing. I use a C stick.
but
I purely use a C stick, and I
Me too.
almost never do B attacks.
but you're also doing movement. You're still using the movement control for Street Fighter, like in terms of doing like a Hadoken or something. Like,
I don't think so. It doesn't feel that
I
way
mean, the
because
quarter
you're
circle.
doing like spin like if you're doing quarter circle stuff like that doesn't feel like movement. That seems like a different
okay,
thing.
I like playing as Snake. That made me like the game a lot because Snake was in it.
yeah. I mean that was a big deal.
That was
Snake's
Brawl,
one
right?
of my favorite
Yeah.
characters
Is
in
Brawl also the
Project
one
M.
with the glove at the end of the career?
He's in all of the.
He's in all of them.
Glover
Okay.
is in all of the Smash Bros.
Oh my
Glover?
gosh.
Dude, Glover is my vote for the new Smash Bros. Actually,
Dude.
My vote is Gex.
I was so scared of the
Or
glove when I
Croc.
was little. If this is nostalgia cast,
He's scary.
Glover is a
I had like
scary
nightmares about him.
About Glover?
Yeah,
Why?
He's talking
'Cause
about
he's
the
terrifying.
master hand
Master Hand.
Oh,
What the
okay.
fuck
I was
are
like,
you
we thought you were
talking
talking. There's a game called Glover
that you play
where you
as
play as a
glove.
glove man. Who is,
Nope, not what I was talking about.
It's scary though.
I was talking about the giant glove.
Yeah, it's scary
Mr.
because
Hand.
it just controls
Mr.
so bad.
Hand. Master
It's a
Hand.
nightmare.
Master Hand, Mr.
I called
Hand.
it
It's
Mr. Hando.
it's funny, Dave, that you mentioned that I asked you what the controls were like when you first started playing Smash 4, because like that game I can't believe it's still like I feel like I figured it out 2 months ago. Whenever I started, like we all started playing
Yeah.
a lot, and I think that's kind of why that game is both great, like, or a game that people really remember because like you kind of discovered mechanics in the game. It's not as, the mechanics are not as obvious to me as like Street Fighter. Street Fighter makes
Wow,
sense.
I cannot feel more opposite about
Yeah,
that.
me too.
Like Smash didn't make sense to me. Like for such a long time, I didn't understand
you said
the
this
game.
a couple times, but every time I'm just like, how is that even
I
possible?
mean, I feel like
But for me, because I played Street Fighter 2 when I was little, so like, and I mean really little, like 6 or 7. I didn't learn how to do a Hadoken until high school. Like it was that counterintuitive. How would you know to do a quarter circle with something and then press a button? Like if you don't know that going in, you will never figure that out.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that Smash is far easier to just pick up and just start doing techniques. But sort of the advanced tech, especially in Melee, because the advanced tech is bugs that are exploited.
That's even
I
like a little
guess
bit of a
the way I
different
feel about
argument.
like Street
But-
Fighter compared to Smash is like in Street Fighter it takes an hour and then you know all the moves and then the rest is just refining timing. Smash I seriously probably played like a really long time and didn't know any moves.
Yeah, I mean, because Street Fighter and games, other typical fighting games, have built-in move lists where you pause the game,
Yeah,
check
which I was
the
really
move
used
list,
to.
and understand you figure out the checklist of how to do things. Smash, every character's moveset is generally the same, but learning like the combos of everything is sort of something that you kind of just have to play the character a bunch to do, which is true for other fighting games, but specifically in Smash, like you just kind of have to figure out like the little nuances of anything, of like this move knocks them back this far, which sets you up perfectly for this move.
Yeah, or just how to integrate
Yeah.
your B moves, because
And
the B moves for every character.
That's
is
probably
different.
why
Yeah.
I'm like most into Smash 4 of any other Smash game, is because like I've played it like
Yeah.
more. Like I don't own the game, but it's here, so I
Yeah,
play it.
and
And
I
like
mean that makes sense.
I just never had the chance to discover anything. Like I mean, I didn't understand like what the percentage system was. I didn't.
I still
I
don't.
mean, yeah, the
understand
yeah,
what
I
the
mean, it reminds
percentage-
me of like, I think a big reason why I don't like a lot of sports games is because I would go over to friends' houses and play like Madden or something,
Yeah.
and just get crushed because like I just not intuitive control for me. Like,
So yeah, then I feel like that's pretty much how I felt. Also, but there was like when I was growing up, there was like resentment I had for all the kids who had Smash Brothers because they all loved playing.
which was a large portion of kids.
Because everyone
I'm sure.
loved playing it, and I did not understand how to play this game.
Yeah.
And I just felt like it was the most impossible game in the
I
world.
actually sort of had that same sort of. I came around to Halo, but I had that same sort of feeling for Halo for a while.
Yeah, totally. I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Me
everyone
too.
was so obsessed with it, and
Yeah.
then actually had the same thing with Dota. But like,
You still shit at that kid,
yeah,
kiddo.
I am, but I respect Dota now. There was a time where I didn't respect
Yeah.
Dota.
I mean, I guess I have a question for everyone. It's like, did a lot of the kind of hidden mechanics of the game, how quickly did you guys?
I don't use them still.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't know.
What do you mean by that?
I just
Just
played,
little things like, I don't know, just all the little stuff like, if you're on the edge, you can like knock someone off. Like if you replace someone on the edge, you know what I mean?
Edge
That's a
peeking.
new thing.
That's really hard in the new one. So I like
Edge guarding?
I've tried to do that, but edge guarding is different than at the edge replacing in Smash 4.
yeah, I mean, because that's brand new.
That's brand new. Okay.
that's-
Well,
yeah.
I mean, then I guess like, when were like grabs introduced and stuff
They're
like
The
that?
first
Awesome.
game.
Learn all of them. So like,
Yeah.
see, like, I guess like, I felt like people were able to string together combos that you figured out how to do these combos just by doing them.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in a game like Street Fighter, it's like, it's
You just
simpler.
do the
Yeah.
combo.
Because
I mean,
also because like
yeah, I
Smash is
guess
kind of
I-
physics based, so it's like, oh, I
Yeah.
know that if I do this, wait half a second, jump and then kick,
Well,
like
yeah, it's
we'll
like
line up.
it's
Yeah, it's just
it's
timing.
doing a combo that is pre-written, like a move, like set, or like taking pieces, like one
Yeah.
move, and then making your own combos out
Yeah.
of separate moves.
Yeah,
Which I
mean,
totally
I-
get. That it seems like really
Yeah.
cool,
And the
but it's also that
physics-based
just
system
seems
of-
to take time.
Yeah, the
I don't do
physics-based
that, though.
system
I
of
don't know
Smash makes it even crazier. Like, just it is more nuance, like based rather than like sort of rote memorization, because, like, you kind of if you're really good at the game, you'll know how far each move will knock somebody at each percentage tier, basically, because you know. At a higher percentages, a person will be knocked back further from everything that knocks them at all. And so if you're really good, you'll memorize, like, when I hit him here at 30%, he'll knock back this far, which perfectly sets me up for this. But most people, you just play by feel. Like, you knock
Yeah.
a guy,
Yeah.
you see, like, that guy went flying, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Rather than, like,
Because
the low percentages, you'll,
makes
like, you can do something and you'll have nowhere near enough time to set up the big combo.
Yeah, because I don't think of Smash in combos at all. Like,
Me either.
like I just think of it in like in terms of hitting someone and then chasing them to follow
Yeah.
up. Like,
Yeah. And that's how I feel about it. It's just it's comboing in the fact that you just want to keep the aggression up and like make it so they can't get you back by perfectly like following their movements correctly.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how I feel about Smash like in a while from now.
Yeah.
Like especially if we keep on playing it every now and then, because I guess like I care like the thing that I focus the most on in the games generally are like the basic mechanics and then the controls.
yeah,
And the thing I really liked about Street Fighter, and I was really surprised I liked Street Fighter.
I was too.
I was not expecting
yeah.
like that game, but I just felt like it took me a day, and then after that, I didn't need to think about controls anymore, and it purely felt
Yeah,
like.
I mean that is the best thing in a fighting game is when you can stop thinking about the controls.
And it felt more like I was just looking at your character for your timing, and it
Yeah.
was like everything else felt completely natural. I still feel like I'm wrestling with like the
You're
controls.
also
a lot.
not comfortable with the controller as much.
I mean, I feel like I'm comfortable with the GameCube controller. I mean, I did play GameCube a lot, like other games with friends and stuff. I think the GameCube controller is like the most comfortable controller.
I agree.
I don't actually like. Honestly, I think with Street Fighter, the one thing that like I don't like is I don't think it plays that well on a 360 controller. I don't think the joystick feels that
agree.
good.
I agree for that.
But I don't know. I just feel like it reached a place where it's like I was able to pretty quickly master, or not master, but like understand the controls, so I didn't have to think about controls anymore. And it became like felt like a really pure game because it felt like it was just like if someone's playing a sport, they're not thinking of. This is a dumb analogy, but if
They're
someone's
not
playing a
thinking about the
sport, they don't think about like needing to like
Yeah.
kick stuff or like running and how
Right,
it
no,
works.
that's actually a really good analogy. Specifically for me, like when it comes to soccer or something, like whenever like I would have to do soccer for like PE or something,
Mm-hmm.
or like I remember in elementary school, like people would play soccer and I just wanted because like I couldn't wrap my mind around like
Dribbling.
yeah, like it was just way. I was thinking about my feet a lot.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
just
I think
didn't-
that's interesting,
It just
yeah.
didn't feel natural at all.
Yeah.
So like it just wasn't fun.
Yeah, I guess that's how I feel about Smash. It doesn't feel that natural,
Yeah.
but it's interesting because like I don't know why something like Street Fighter felt. I mean, I never played Street Fighter before I
know.
moved here.
I
But
feel
I
like
mean,
that is a
Street
very
Fighter-
atypical thing for sure.
Street Fighter is more like every other fighting game, and you said you'd played some fighting games before.
I had played Dead or Alive, and that was it.
But yeah,
But that's still
Dead or Alive
different.
feels way different than Street Fighter.
But it's more like Street Fighter than it's like Smash.
yes, I will agree with that.
Yeah, but it still feels like when it comes to fighting games, as different from Street Fighter as possible, other than Smash, because it's button combos as opposed to
Yeah,
DOA.
stick stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's more like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, when I was playing that, I mean, I was like 11, and I was just butt mashing. Like, I definitely didn't learn how to do any moves. I probably figured out one, and then would just like spam that.
yeah. I mean, that's how I actually started it in like in 64. Is I would pick Kirby and just do his throw all the time, because like I don't know. I thought it wasn't OP, but I thought it was for some reason when I was little. Like, because you go off the screen and you come back down and you smash them into the ground and they, like, there's an explosion. And because of how grand the movement was, I was like, this is the move.
This hurts him. This is a good one.
Yeah.
That's funny.
This is the trick to the game.
As we move towards the end, do we want to go around the circle and say our main and say our favorite secret thing we've discovered about him?
Our main in Smash 4 specifically.
Favorite secret thing we've discovered about
Yeah,
that?
Josh, I'd like
You start, Josh.
I'd like you to start.
I don't know if I should start.
I
I think
like he has something in mind.
I don't know how to answer the second question unless you start.
Yeah.
Okay, so I really like Wario because he has a motorcycle, and when you're on the motorcycle, you can use the taunt while you're riding
What
the
is
motorcycle.
his taunt when he puts his hands up and
So
goes
Wario's riding across the screen. He's like, and he puts his hands up.
I do like
What
that.
kind of taunt is that? It's so weird. That's a weird hand placement.
And he puts his hands in front of his face and goes like, you know, like he makes a dumb nasally Wario noise.
Yeah.
I love Wario. I like when he gets the garlic and becomes
Super Wario.
Super
Oh,
Wario. And
that's my second favorite secret thing about Wario, is that when he becomes super and you use the motorcycle, it is the single fastest character in the game by far.
It's impossible to control.
Completely,
There's
utterly
literally
uncontrollable.
no- Yeah.
You just do your side B, you're off the screen
the fastest
in
way to
1
kill-
second.
It's so funny looking.
the fastest way to kill
It's a
yourself in
rocket.
any Smash Bros. Game for sure. My main in Smash 4 is Pac-Man, and I
Really?
like. He is now.
You're the best with him.
I think I play him. I always try to play. I always try to be a Falco picker, or a Captain Falcon.
Captain Falcon.
Sometimes I play Falco. Sometimes I play Captain Falcon. Sometimes I play Link with the fierce deity look. Sometimes I play whoever. Rob also. I play them all, but mostly my love is for Pac-Man, and it's because one of his alternate costumes, he wears oven mitts with nice gingham oven mitts.
With Gangnam style.
Yeah, the gingham style. I like
Pac-Man
I like
Gangnam
gingham style Pac-Man.
God.
And that one time we were playing that game, and
That's gonna make
I
people-
said to Seabass, I said, "I'm Puck-Man, and I'm gonna fuck you up, man." And I thought that was funny, and he thought so too. So I love,
Puck-Man here to fuck you up, man.
yeah, I love Pac-Man. I also love his cartoon on the Disney Channel.
Check it out. It's on Netflix.
Yeah,
It is worth a watch.
it's a good one. Pac-Man. I don't know what it's called.
Pac-Man
Just
Adventures.
Yeah.
Pac-Man. Of course, it's called that. Dave.
Listeners, first I have to apologize for the Gangnam Style reference. I always just try to reference memes when I'm around Keenan, and I can't stop now.
Yeah, he's a memer.
Yeah, because Keenan hates it, and I love seeing his
Well,
reaction.
David claims to not like memes, but
But I think I've grown to love them because
He
of
loves
living with
memes.
he
Keenan.
loves memes so much that he's gonna date the overly attached girlfriend.
Oh, we need to stop talking about this.
I heard about him.
Yeah, Dave's a memer.
Anyways,
Self-proclaimed.
my main is Yoshi, and
He makes the weirdest sounds.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a.
it's not the
No,
sound.
no, he goes. He goes.
He goes,
He doesn't make that.
Come on, he makes
Is
that
your
sound. He
head
goes.
rattling?
He goes.
how do you do that?
I don't know.
One more.
A weak one.
Oh, that was weak.
What's your favorite secret about him?
When he
I
goes-
like
when he makes
his
that sound.
So I have two. One is if you do a short hop down air, it kills.
Yeah,
Second,
cheap.
If you do a short hop down air, it plays the Killers.
yep.
Is that the egg drop?
No, it's the flutter kick down.
Egg
Bicycle
drop's
kick.
good.
You sit there in your heartache, waiting
the-
on some beautiful
My-
Dave too.
My second favorite secret is
I love
The
that song.
Killers. I love that song.
my
too.
second favorite secret
Bunch of
is
Mormons.
his side like left or right D-pad taunt, and he chases his tail like a dog, and it's cute.
He is very cute.
Yeah, very cute character.
I think he's ugly. I hate him.
Wow.
When he does that, he's cute.
He's not as cute as Captain Falcon, though.
Mob boss
Moving
Captain
on, my favorite
Falcono.
character is Captain Falcon.
Whoa, that's weird.
I like his fiery punch to the side.
What's that called?
Falco Pancho. And
Falcone Pancho.
the one I end up using the most though is the one where you jump and then do like kind of a diagonal like fire thing.
Yeah, he kills you a lot though.
Yeah,
It's
it
cool
does
though.
get me quite a
It
bit.
is a very cool looking move.
Yeah.
Captone Falcone.
I also like how I
Falcon
don't know. If,
kick? Is that Falcon kick?
yeah, I think it's Falcon Kick.
Falcon
I don't know if
kick.
this is with all characters, but like if you go from 0 to like all the way to the side of the analog stick, it runs really fast. But if you just like go there slowly, then he just kind of walks slowly.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
everybody
especially
does
pronounced
do
with
that,
Captain
but
Falcon.
Falcon is very fast.
Yeah.
He's a quick.
Like when he
quick
runs,
guy.
he really runs. And
See,
when
I
he's,
didn't even
like,
know that was a thing.
When he's slow, then he's precise. That's something I was gonna say when you're talking about that.
You
It's
do
if
know
you
that
learned.
that's a thing.
You gotta
like,
get good, dude.
I'm sure you're just doing it naturally.
Yeah.
Like,
Totally.
Well, I feel like I-
that's just the way the movement works.
I mean, I just feel like I probably just do go with 0 to 100.
yeah,
It's just
exactly.
naturally
That's
how I do
that's
it.
like what most people do generally.
But that's interesting. So I didn't like.
Captone Falcone.
I also love not Falcon, Sonic, and how precise he is.
Oh my gosh.
We
And
played
shit.
this Sonic match where everyone in the game just played as Sonic, and it made us all want to quit Smash forever.
Yeah, it was seriously one.
It
of
was
the worst
also
experiences
on a
of my
map
life.
that Sebastian built that is all springs. It was 100%
that was fun.
springs.
That was fun when I played.
It was
Pac-Man
impossible
on
to
that
do anything.
one. All right, now we get to go to the dirtiest player of them all.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks for listening. Have a good
Yeah,
night, everybody.
The most OP,
Disgusting.
cheap.
Every time I play with Seabass, I throw up
Yeah.
because of how gross his character that he picks is. I'm just thinking about it right now. I'm going.
I played Diddy with the specifically the pink suit and the light shit brown hair color.
Ew.
I think I'm gonna throw up.
Sebastian just spams the Diddy trick the whole time.
Yeah.
What is this? Is there really a Diddy trick?
Yes.
Literally everything that character does is dumb.
Nerf gun.
I don't understand why I just complain. I never win.
I just hate
Like if I
playing
was
against
winning, I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm getting like
the
fourth
running
place
joke
every
is
time.
telling Sebastian he's OP and he never wins.
Yeah. It's just because Diddy gets so overpicked in Smash tournaments, but it doesn't matter.
OP actually means overpicked.
It does usually. It usually does mean overpicked as well as
Yeah.
overpowered.
Main internet misconception.
Yep.
I guess to close it out, we should do a rendition of the Smash theme / Walking on the Sun.
Oh yeah.
Might as well be walking on the sun. Might as well be walking on the sun.
All right. See you next week. Thanks, everybody.